Hello friends, welcome to the Uribe Society. I'm Fernando Uribe for Hudson County TV, coming to you from City Hall in West New York. Today's Board of Commissioners meeting was animated, lively, and controversial. Commissioner Wiley today expressed his discontent over the restructuring of all the departments here in the Township of West New York. Retired West New York detective Betancourt today voiced his displeasure about Felix Roque's administration and the restructuring of today's departments. As you can see, he also is animated, as well as all the residents that spoke this afternoon and quite frankly voiced a tremendous amount of resentment about today's actions. We'll see exactly as he expresses it today, this afternoon, here at West New York City Hall. Commissioner Wiley, very passionate words today. Do you plan on stepping down because of today's...
Never. I would never step down. This is something I believe in, like I said, from 4 years ago. I have no intentions. I have intentions to keep fighting for this town, making sure that this administration stays on track. Even though it might hurt, it's a little painstaking, but the truth does hurt sometimes. But that's what I will continue to do.
You mentioned during the public forum that you reached out to the mayor. What do you think his reason was for not reaching out to you in the last couple of days since this announcement was made?
Well, I've been calling him for 3 days. As soon as I heard this information, he hasn't returned my calls. I called him numerous times. This is something that has happened in the past a number of times. Whenever he has to do something like this, he kind of steps out of town. And it's kind of disrespectful, and it's been disrespectful for my family. All the sacrifices we made, and I just don't find this to be what exactly he's saying this is to be. This isn't a restructure. This is about control and what he wants to do in this town, because if you don't listen, you're pushed out. But that doesn't happen with me. And I'm not going to be a toy to some administration for anybody to do that to me.
Again, so you have no plans of stepping down? You're going to cooperate with this administration?
I'm here for the next 3 years. I'm going to be here to serve these people for the rest of the way. If it comes time for the next election, if they want me here, they'll vote me in again. And I have no problems with that.
The mayor mentioned cross-training. Does that seem like a feasible idea for the administration to do that?
I think it's just an excuse for what he's doing. It's a way to hide. It's a little manipulative tactic of his, and I don't agree with it.
Well, I mean, what's his agenda then? I mean, if you're saying that it's manipulative and it's a tactic, I mean, what do you think is behind this entire process?
To be honest with you, my guess is as good as yours. I would like to know that myself. But what I've seen over the past with the change in administration, whether it's financial, whether there's new engineers or whatever it might be, it's with somebody who's gonna do what he says pretty much. Who's gonna listen to him. Like we have an attorney here, town attorney. He only listens to one person, and he works for all 5 commissioners. But he doesn't work for us, and that's what I want to say. So anything that I've ever sent down to that office never gets taken care of. And there's other issues we'll talk about in the future because there is an investigation going to take place. That's something I exposed in my department, and it hasn't been handled correctly by the law department downstairs. But you'll hear about that in the future.
I mean, just for our viewers' sake, I mean, the investigation you mentioned, what is it in a nutshell? I mean, what does it entail?
I don't want to go too much into detail. I did make a comment in there, but it has to do with the taxpayers, and we're losing a lot of money here through our garbage. And it's a real serious matter. It's millions of dollars every couple of years. And it's something that I could have straightened out. Up to this point, I have saved the town for the past month with all the restructuring in my organization, with refuse garbage. I've saved the town $30,000 a month for the past 4 months. So this is just the beginning of what I was going to do. So all the fruits of my labor now, by switching me out of this department, renders me not to be able to enforce what I need to get done down there. So doing this move was not a smart move. It wasn't an intelligent move, nor was it rational. And the gentleman they're trying to replace me with does not have any qualifications near what I do. So that's what I have to say.
I mean, do you plan on working with the new commissioner that's going to be transferred to that department for DPW?
You know, he'll probably definitely call on me. He went from training 11 men, now he's going into taking care of 50-something men. And I tell you what, it's about the politics in here. It's about because he just can't say, well, he don't have a mind of his own, basically, and that's what's going on. And he'll do anything the mayor tells him to do.
Do you anticipate any repercussions based on your speech and your voicing your opinion today in front of the forum, in front of the citizens here?
No, I welcome the repercussions. It's been repercussions since the day I walked in here 4 years ago. And there's nothing else that I can't handle in this town, whether they're going to do it to me or not. But I do swear on this, if they touch any one of my employees in this department who have done a fabulous job for this department, I will make it known.
Commissioner White, thank you so much for your time. Detective Betancourt certainly was very animated and very lively commissioners meeting today. What disappointed you the most about today's events?
Quite a bit, but more than anything else, what I think the word that springs to mind is hubris. I've never seen arrogance manifest itself this way in government. I've never seen anything like this. The total lack of decorum, the total lack of respect for both the public and his own commissioners.
I mean, when you mean decorum or a lack thereof, I mean, who specifically was engaging in a lack of decorum?
Well, I believe that the counselor inside, which would constantly interrupt not only public officials, but the public themselves from expressing whatever points of view that they had.
I mean, some are concerned, again, from an opposing point of view, that 5 minutes seems to be a little too brief. Most citizens can't be able to express themselves. I mean, does that need to increase itself in future meetings here?
Certainly. We never had that prior. I don't see why we have it now. I think it would be politically correct, and I think I could probably get away with it. I'm going to say it anyway. I believe he's missed his calling, the mayor. He would have been a perfect banana dictator.
What concerns you the most about today's restructuring with the departments and the commissioners here in West New York?
Well, I asked if the government was broken. He said no. Apparently something is awry here. Because if you're moving people around, either you have a personal agenda, a political agenda, whatever the case with me. My thought on this is that I think ultimately he's going to have to give up the seat of power, and then his heir apparent would become the commissioner, meaning Frias.
Well, another citizen did ask the mayor to step down. Do you feel that should be the best course of action for Dr. Roque at this time?
I hold true to the last interview that we had. I believe that every person needs their day in court, and I still hold true to that. He is an elected official. He has to hear, though, the problems that are going on in town. That he does have to respond to. But I do hold to the fact that I believe in the Constitution, and he needs his day.
Council, what concerns you the most about this afternoon's events here in the restructuring of all the departments?
Well, I'm just basically shocked as to what took place. It was passed through very quickly without public input, without public perception. I did attempt to speak to the commissioners at the public forum at the meeting that took place, which I think was a disaster in and of itself. And I think it does the residents of West New York a disservice to have these people moved around, especially not even a month ago, he sent out a letter to the residents of West New York saying how well the departments were doing. So why, if the departments are doing well, you're going to take these commissioners and play musical chairs with them and put them into departments they're not familiar with?
Oh, you did ask the mayor to step down. Is that something you want to keep pursuing, or at least try to mobilize more residents in West New York for the mayor to step down?
Well, with all the accusations and everything that's following the mayor and this administration at this point, I think it's just a shame to see, people talk about West New York throughout Hudson County and the state of New Jersey, and it's not in a positive light. Everything associated with West New York now has been negative. So me, as a lifelong resident of West New York, is very concerned about the future perception of this town. I want to make sure West New York is prosperous. I want to make sure it has a good future, and I just don't see that happening with this mayor and this administration.
Cosmo, again, thank you so much for your time. Today's episode and future ones, please go to Hudson County TV and their website, hudsoncountytv.com. I'm Fernando Uribe. Stay classy, everyone, and we'll see you next time.